Have you ever wondered why things just don't work the way they used to down there, and whether those tiny veins might be silently clogging up while you're sleeping, eating, or just going about your day? Look, I know this isn't easy to talk about, but if you've noticed that your intimate moments aren't what they were 5 or 10 years ago, or if you're worried that you're losing that part of yourself that made you feel like a man, you need to hear this. There's something happening inside the veins in your penis right now, and most men over 60 have no idea it's even occurring until it's almost too late. These veins, the ones responsible for blood flow and function, they start getting narrower, more restricted, almost like tiny pipes getting clogged with buildup. And here's what really gets me: the solution that could help unclog these veins and restore proper circulation might be sitting right there in your kitchen cabinet. I'm talking about regular honey, but not the way you've been using it. There's a specific method that targets circulation in that exact area, and thousands of men are already seeing changes they thought were gone forever. Now, before you think this sounds too simple or too good to be true, let me walk you through exactly what's happening in your body right now and why honey, when used correctly, can make a genuine difference. The method itself is surprisingly straightforward, but the timing and approach matter more than you'd think. So let me explain what's actually going on inside your body that nobody really talks about at your doctor's appointments. After you hit 60, sometimes even in your 50s, the small blood vessels throughout your entire body start to lose their flexibility. They get stiffer, and the ones in your penis are actually some of the smallest and most delicate vessels you have. Think about this for a second. When these tiny veins can't expand properly anymore, when they're getting partially blocked by plaque buildup and inflammation, less blood flows into the area that needs it most. And this isn't just about intimacy, though that's obviously what you notice first. It's about the health of the tissue itself. Without proper blood flow, the tissue starts to change. It doesn't get the oxygen and nutrients it needs. And over time, this creates a cycle where things keep getting worse instead of better. Most men I talk to say they noticed small changes years ago. Maybe firmness wasn't quite the same. Maybe it took longer to respond, but they brushed it off as just getting older. Here's the problem with that thinking. While you're accepting it as normal aging, the vein blockage is progressing, the circulation is decreasing more each month, and the window to reverse this naturally is getting smaller. What you need to understand is that honey works on this specific problem because it directly affects how your blood vessels behave, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you. Now, I know what you're probably thinking: what about those little blue pills or the other medications your doctor might have mentioned? Here's the truth that nobody seems to want to tell you. Those medications don't fix anything. They're just temporary bandages that force a response in your body for a few hours. You take a pill, it works for that one time, and then you're right back where you started, maybe even feeling worse because now you're dependent on something artificial. And let's talk about what these medications actually cost. We're talking hundreds of dollars every single month if you want to maintain any kind of regular, intimate life, plus the side effects that can include headaches, vision problems, and even more serious cardiovascular issues. The real issue here is that pills aren't addressing why your veins got clogged in the first place. They're not improving your actual circulation. They're not healing the blood vessel damage. They're just forcing blood flow temporarily through sheer chemical power. What men over 60 actually need is something that supports the natural healing and opening of these vessels, something that your body recognizes and can use to repair itself from the inside out. That's where natural circulation restoration becomes so important, because when you give your body the right compounds, it can actually start reversing some of that vein damage instead of just masking the symptoms. If you're serious about understanding how to naturally improve your circulation and vascular health after 60, make sure you subscribe to Health After 60 right now, because I share methods like this every single week. The difference between medication and true circulation improvement is something every man needs to understand. Let me break down how blood flow actually works in this part of your body, because once you understand this, the honey method is going to make complete sense. Your penis has these chambers inside called the corpora cavernosa, and think of them like sponges that need to fill up with blood to create firmness and function. Now, for those sponges to fill properly, you need two things happening at once. The arteries bringing blood and have to be wide and open, and the veins that normally drain blood out have to temporarily close off to keep that blood trapped inside. This whole process depends entirely on something called nitric oxide, which is basically your body's natural signal to tell blood vessels to relax and expand. Here's where age becomes a problem. After 60, your body produces less nitric oxide naturally. The artery walls get stiffer from years of inflammation and plaque buildup, and those veins we talked about start losing their ability to properly trap blood in the tissue. It's like trying to fill a bucket that has holes in the bottom. No matter how much water you pour in, it just drains right back out. The tissue itself also needs consistent blood flow to stay healthy and elastic, because without fresh oxygenated blood reaching those cells regularly, they start to deteriorate and lose function permanently. Now, here's what makes honey so interesting for this exact problem. It contains specific natural compounds that directly influence how your body produces nitric oxide and manages inflammation in blood vessel walls. So, what is it about honey that makes it work for circulation in ways that most people never realize? Raw honey contains something called flavonoids and polyphenols. These are natural plant compounds that act as powerful antioxidants in your bloodstream, and they do something remarkable to your blood vessels. When these compounds enter your system, they help your body produce more of that nitric oxide we just talked about, which means your arteries can relax and widen more easily, letting more blood flow exactly where you need it. But that's not even the best part. Honey also has natural anti-inflammatory properties that work to reduce the swelling and irritation in your blood vessel walls, the same inflammation that's been narrowing those tiny penile veins for years. Think about this. When inflammation goes down and blood vessels can expand properly again, you're literally reversing the process that's been causing your problems. Honey also helps improve something called endothelial function, which is just a fancy way of saying it helps the inner lining of your blood vessels work better and stay more flexible. Studies have shown that the natural sugars in honey, when combined with these other compounds, actually support better blood flow throughout your entire vascular system, not just in one area. The key difference between honey and processed sugar is that honey delivers these benefits along with enzymes and minerals that your body uses to repair damaged tissue and reduce oxidative stress in your blood vessels. But here's what most men get wrong. It's not just about eating honey randomly. The method and timing of how you consume it changes everything about the results you'll see. All right, here's the method that actually works for improving circulation and unclogging those veins naturally. First thing in the morning, before you eat anything else, take 1 tablespoon of raw, unfiltered honey and let it dissolve slowly in your mouth for about 30 seconds before swallowing it. This is important because when honey hits your system on an empty stomach, those beneficial compounds get absorbed much more efficiently into your bloodstream without competing with other foods. Now, the type of honey matters more than you might think. You want raw, unfiltered honey, preferably organic, because the processing that regular store honey goes through destroys many of those flavonoids and enzymes we talked about. Look for honey that's cloudy or crystallized. That's actually a good sign it hasn't been overheated or filtered. You're going to do this every single morning consistently, and then again about 30 minutes before bedtime. That's your second tablespoon for the day. The evening dose is crucial because your body does most of its cellular repair and healing while you sleep, so you're giving it the compounds it needs right when it's working to fix that vascular damage. Within 2 to 3 weeks of consistent daily use, most men start noticing subtle improvements in morning firmness and overall circulation, but the real changes happen around the 6 to 8 week mark when your blood vessels have had time to reduce inflammation and improve their flexibility. Now, if you combine this honey routine with one specific thing, the results multiply significantly, and that's what I need to explain next because most men miss this critical piece. The one thing that multiplies the honey's effectiveness more than anything else is regular walking. And I mean genuinely regular, at least 30 minutes every single day. Here's why this combination is so powerful. When you walk at a moderate pace, your heart pumps more blood throughout your entire body, and that increased circulation helps deliver those honey compounds to every blood vessel, including the ones in your pelvic region. Walking also triggers your body to produce even more nitric oxide naturally. So you're getting a double boost, one from the honey and another from the physical movement itself. What happens is your blood vessels start to remember how to expand and contract properly again. They're getting exercise just like your muscles are. Now, add foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids to your daily routine, things like fatty fish, walnuts, or flax seeds, because these healthy fats reduce inflammation even further and keep your blood flowing smoothly instead of getting thick and sluggish. Hydration is another piece most men completely overlook. You need at least 8 glasses of water daily because dehydrated blood is thicker and moves slower through narrow vessels, which completely works against everything the honey is trying to do. And here's something interesting. Reducing alcohol intake makes a massive difference because alcohol causes blood vessels to constrict and creates inflammation, essentially undoing your progress. If you want more natural health strategies like these that actually work for men over 60, subscribe to Health After 60 because I break down proven methods every week that can transform your health. The combination approach is what separates men who see real lasting improvements from those who try one thing and give up when results are slow. Now, let me tell you about the mistakes I see men making over that completely destroy their progress. And the first one is probably happening in your kitchen right now. Using regular processed honey instead of raw honey is like trying to build a house with cardboard instead of wood. It just doesn't have the structural integrity you need because all those beneficial enzymes and compounds have been cooked out of it. The second mistake is inconsistency, taking honey for 3 days, forgetting for 4 days, then starting again when you remember your body needs consistent daily support to rebuild vascular health, not random spurts of effort. Here's another big one that nobody talks about. Eating foods loaded with trans fats and refined sugars while trying to improve your circulation is like trying to fill a bathtub while the drain is wide open. Those processed foods create exactly the kind of inflammation and plaque buildup in your arteries that you're trying to reverse, so they're actively working against you. Smoking is the absolute worst thing you can do for penile circulation because it damages the endothelial lining we discussed earlier and reduces nitric oxide production dramatically, essentially canceling out everything you're trying to accomplish. And here's what surprises most men. Sitting for long periods throughout the day restricts blood flow to your entire pelvic region. So even if you're walking 30 minutes daily, sitting for 8 hours straight is still causing damage. The key is getting up and moving around for at least 5 minutes every single hour to keep that blood flowing properly because circulation is something you either use consistently or you lose gradually. Here's something that most men don't realize until it's almost too late. The same circulation problems affecting your intimate function are actually warning signs about what's happening throughout your entire cardiovascular system. Those small veins in your penis are like the canary in the coal mine. They're often the first place you notice problems because they're the smallest and most delicate blood vessels in your body. When they start getting blocked or losing function, it means your heart arteries, your brain vessels, and the blood supply to your kidneys and legs are likely experiencing similar damage, just not showing obvious symptoms yet. This is why improving penile circulation isn't just about intimacy, it's literally about protecting yourself from heart attacks and strokes down the road. The methods we've talked about, the honey routine, the walking, the dietary changes, they're all working to improve your entire vascular system at once. Think about what this means. By taking action on something you might have felt embarrassed about, you're actually preventing much more serious health problems that could end your independence or even your life. Your body is incredibly interconnected, and when you improve circulation in one area, you're helping every organ and tissue that depends on healthy blood flow. This is exactly why regular checkups with your healthcare provider matter so much, because they can measure things like your blood pressure, cholesterol levels, and blood sugar that all indicate how well your vascular system is functioning overall. Join the Health After 60 community right now because we cover these interconnected health topics that could add years to your life and life to your years. Taking action today on circulation issues isn't just about feeling better in the bedroom. It's about being around for your grandchildren and living independently well into your 80s and 90s. So let's bring this all together because what you do in the next 24 hours could genuinely change the trajectory of your health for years to come. The honey method we've covered isn't some magic overnight cure, but it's a legitimate natural approach that supports your body's own ability to heal and improve vascular function when you use it consistently and correctly. Start tomorrow morning with that tablespoon of raw, unfiltered honey on an empty stomach. Commit to your evening dose before bed and build in that daily 30-minute walk that amplifies everything. Remember that your body has an incredible capacity to repair itself when you give it the right tools and conditions, but it needs time and consistency to reverse years of damage. The men who see real transformation aren't the ones looking for shortcuts. They're the ones who understand that small daily actions compound into major health improvements over weeks and months. You're not just unclogging veins, you're reclaiming confidence, protecting your heart, and investing in a future where you remain active and capable. Don't let another week go by feeling frustrated or worried about your declining function when you now have a clear, actionable path forward. If you found this information valuable and you want more proven natural health strategies specifically designed for men over 60, make sure you subscribe to Health After 60 and hit that notification bell so you never miss content that could genuinely improve your quality of life. Your health after 60 doesn't have to be a slow decline. It can be a time of taking control, making smart choices, and enjoying the benefits of a body that still works well when you treat it right.